Do not sign that transfer agreement until you have watched this video. Do not. In this video, we're going to discuss the profit-based sell-on clause. In fact, it flows from our previous video on the sell-on clause. Now, typically, a sell-on clause means that when the buying club sells the player to a third club for a fee, the selling club will be entitled to a percentage of this fee. But the profit-based sell-on clause goes a step further to say that before we give you a percentage of this fee, we must deduct certain costs or all the costs associated with acquiring this player from your club. So it admits of deductions. Unlike your typical sell-on clause, the profit-based sell-on clause includes deductibles. Now, what you must do is to ensure that these deductibles are certain. You do not want a situation where the deductions or the costs to be deducted are not certain or are unclear. You want to ensure that the deductibles are very certain and clear. So do not sign that transfer agreement that contains a profit-based sell-on clause with uncertain or unclear deductibles. You do not want to have to always go through the hurdles of legal proceedings in order to claim what is entirely yours. An example would be you have a profit-based sell-on clause that says that the club can deduct agent fees, or that the club will deduct agent fees before paying you your sell-on. But what agent fees are is not defined. It does not say whether the agent fees in this clause are agent fees which the club incurred or paid when it was acquiring the player from your club. It does not say if the agent fees are agent fees which the club paid when it sold the player to the next club. It does not say if the agent fees are agent fees the club paid when it renewed the player's employment contract. So you must be certain. You must always insist that the deductibles are very certain. You must review them in such a manner that the deductibles are defined. What agent fees are should be defined. The percentage of agent fees must be stated clearly in fine print. Do not leave anything to chance. Now, there are times when a club gives you a transfer agreement that contains a clause that has the semblance of a sell-on clause or the semblance of a profit-based sell-on clause, but it's an empty clause. It's an empty clause. In fact, when they want to send you this kind of drafts, they usually send it through official channels, through emails. They send it to your official email address on TMS to show that they have communicated this clearly, that parties agreed to include this clause and you negotiated on equal footing. So you don't go to FIFA and argue that you were not the one who drafted the clause. They know what they are doing. So what does this clause look like? It usually has a very fine heading, profit-based sell-on clause or sell-on clause. Now it goes this way, that parties agree that when the buying club sells the player to a third club for a fee, that 10% of the amount realized by the buying club in this sale will be earmarked as pre-sell-on fees. And these pre-sell-on fees will be where the deductions will happen. So all the amount which the buying club has spent in acquiring this player will be deducted from this 10%, and the balance will be paid to you, the selling club, as your sell-on. It's outrageous, but it happens. You understand? So basically what they're doing is that they are protecting their interest in about 90% of the funds which they will realize from the sale of the player. So you guys have to play around the 10% which you think is yours, you think it's your money, but it's pre-sell-on fees. By the time they are done deducting and you send them an invoice, they will reject your invoice. In fact, they will send you a counter invoice asking you to pay them. So it's important that you read the fine print of your agreement carefully. Read them carefully. I understand that football is a game of passion, but I always advise, leave your passion on the field of play. Leave your passion on the training pitch. When you walk into the doors of football business with the passion of an impressionable fan, you're going to lose. You will lose heavily because people eat passion for breakfast. Your passion will betray you. It will betray you. You always have to ensure that your end is always very tight. You don't leave anything to chance.